is CNN Breaking News.
Belgium's parliament has just approved a bill that gives anyone under the age of 18 the right to die. But there are very specific conditions tied to the euthanasia legislation. Diana Magna is following the story for us. She joins us now from Berlin. This bill had been going through the passage of the Belgian parliament for some time. There already had been a euthanasia bill before that, but what difference is carried in this second bill?
Well, Belgium has had euthanasia Fanula since 2002, but only for people over the age of 18. Now it becomes the first country in the world where there will be no age limit, and anyone, no matter their age, can ask to die as long as they fulfill various criteria, and those criteria are quite specific, namely that you have to have a doctor and a second doctor's opinion, and that doctor, in the case of children, also has to refer to a child psychologist who must carry out an assessment of the child to make sure that that child is making the decision that he or she is making with as much is conscious of what they are asking for. And that is, of course, what critics say no child can be. They argue that it is impossible for a child to even comprehend what death is, let alone then to be able to understand what they are doing when they ask for it. Really, this will only ever apply to a very small group of people, children who are terminally ill, in intolerable physical suffering, and with parental consent. But a large number of paediatricians applied to the Parliament, wrote an open letter earlier this week saying, we don't see reason for this bill to come into effect. We see no practical necessity for it, and palliative medicine, end-of-life medicine, is good enough to mean that children don't have intolerable suffering at the end of their lives. So, Fanula, an incredibly emotive debate, of course, but one that the Parliament has approved. Euthanasia is now applicable for children too in Belgium. Now it just has to go to the Belgian King to sign it into law.
And it was passed, Diana, with quite a big majority. How much support is there across the country for this?
That's right, 86 voted yes in the Parliament, 44 against and 12 abstentions, and the latest opinion poll said that around 75% of the Belgian public were behind it. And the Benelux region is pretty liberal in terms of euthanasia. In neighbouring Holland, euthanasia is also possible for children over the age of 12 with parental consent. And in Luxembourg, euthanasia is also legal. So there's a sort of very liberal bias towards the practice of euthanasia, but it is something that the rest of the world, many parts of the rest of the world, look on with astonishment.